Okay, we are live. Just waiting for Bella to come. Backstage studio, y'all over here. Well, actually, when she comes, I'm gonna have her say her highs while I go get my little half of my Rockstar I want to drink. I have one more left, the cotton candy. Remember, I bought 3, and I went through the 2, so I have one left. So they've been lasting me pretty long. That was what, like at least over a week ago. I've only drank them with you guys. So yeah, we're just waiting for Bella, and we will do it. But that after I got off, I seen that there is some other interesting things going on with that Aiden case. So I'm gonna have to, after this, I'm gonna maybe stay up and put together a more complete video of the extra surveillance that I found, and then some other stuff with the whole jailhouse phone calls and stuff that came out. So I'm gonna have to do that. So how's everybody doing though? What's up? Matt Willis, Mr. Maverick, Brianna, Sue B, Love Me Like Music 7. It's 10:05. Yes, it is 10:05. Well, it's 10:08 now. Hey, Diana Wright, I know. This is like the third live today. Sarah, what's up, man? What's up? Hoppin' Holly, love the name. Hoppin' Holly. Mr. Mesra, yeah, trying to stay awake for this. Wow. Did you take a nap? Mystery, did you end up getting a nap or no? The actors are backstage applying makeup and hair. Yeah. Oh, I do need something, man. I look. That's why I'm just doing audio. If you were on my last live that I just did, I had was on my run, and I was gonna take a shower and then do this live, but I was just probably going to do audio anyway because we're just reading the transcripts. But I wanted to put together that own thing because I was informed that all that the new surveillance came out, so I haven't had time to take a shower. So I know I feel all gross. I'm going to take one after this. Oh, Sharon, thanks for joining. Yay, new member in the house. Yeah, quick. What is going on, guys? Wow, I hope it's not one of those. Oh, yeah. Well, it'll probably be like a 3 or 4 part one. We did take a little bit of while to get to part 2 because Bella was out of town for like a week, so we kind of got set back like a week. But we are getting her done. We'll try to do at least one every week. We can't smell you from here. Yeah, I hope not. Let me. Oh, you didn't mean to get one, Mystery? Well, we'll take that into consideration if you pass out or if we don't hear from you. Hey, Tennessee. Zav Girl Nation. Yes, we got Bella. Hey, Bella is here.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Sounds pretty far away. Let me see.
I do. Okay. I'm in a new setup where I'm like a little bit above the mic, so I might have to sit on the ground.
Oh, okay. Hey, while you're saying hi to everybody, I'm gonna go down and get my half a thing of Rockstar.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
right? Because I'm all right. I'll be back. Just chat away, and I'll be back. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. No 5-hour energy though.
Well, actually, I was just taking my earphones out, but the 5-hour makes me less shaky than the. That's why I still have all those 5 hours, and I was like, should I do a 5 hour? Because the Rockstars have been making me a little bit more shaky, but that's when I drank the whole one. I've been pretty good just to get in half, so that's why I have one left. I'm just gonna pour half a glass and just bring up the half glass.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because if not, they taste so good, like I can't not drink it all.
I know.
But so I finished the 2 Rockstars, so this one's gonna be the Bang, which I've had the Bang cotton candy before. It's good, but okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Muffy in the house. All right.
And if Bang wants to sponsor Zav, she's available. And Rockstar, she's been talking you guys up. So if anyone wants to sponsor Zav, she's available for that. How are you guys doing in chat? Our amazing mods are here. Hi, Diana Wright. Muffy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jules Marie. Oh, look, it's Gailey Gilster. You shortened your name for us. Hi, Laura Sinclair. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Hazel Eyes. Sarah Lee. Trace on the case. Lavina, I can never look at you without, or look at your name without thinking about how I sound like the dirge, like a funeral march. It's good because we have a little joke. She said that when we were singing Happy Birthday, you guys, because we sing it sometimes to people who sub when it's their birthdays, and I guess it sounds like a funeral march. She'll have to tell you about it. Mystery Maverick, California Thunder, Matt Willis, Hop and Holly, Brianna CC. Good to see you guys. Yeah, no, not the 5 hour energy. I'm telling you. But she was yawning. So take a minute also to hit the thumbs up to let everybody know that we're live. The Darley, I feel the Darley transcripts are going to probably be a 4-parter at least. TN, my lovey. You know, I'm like feeling I got these amazing donuts from this place that does amazing donuts, right? And I feel like I should grab one so I could be like really sugary and sweet when I do Darley. Are you two eating the same thing? What is Hazel eating? Salt and vinegar Pringles? I missed you too, Sarah Lee. I missed all you guys. I had a good time in Orange County, California, hanging out at the beach and taking a much needed like rest. Roxanne, I see you up on the screen. Grab Morty, mommy. I should grab the. Yeah, I should grab a donut. But you know how some people don't like to hear people eating? So sometimes I just, like, I'd have to mute, you know?
Okay, I'm back.
Yay.
You know what? Now that I'm drinking this after I drank the 2 rock stars, I like the rock stars better. They taste better. This one has a more of a. It's still good, but it has more of that. You know that sugar-free taste. It has more of that taste to it.
Why is it like low calorie or something? I know
no,
nothing.
but like it was. No, it's not low calorie, but a lot of them don't have sugar in them.
I didn't know that.
I mean, you could find them. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I don't know if it does. I'm just saying that's what it tastes like. Watch, I go down there, it has a ton of sugar. I don't have the can with me. I poured it in the glass. Now I want to know. Great, Bella. Thanks.
I know.
I just assumed it was because of the taste. I don't even know if the Rockstar is sugar free or not, but it didn't have that taste to it. I know that.
It probably is. Or chat will tell us because chat's like our Google.
They are, definitely.
Look at that. TN. Bang don't have sugar. See that?
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, what about, does the Rockstar cotton candy have sugar? Because is that why it tastes better? Because it does, or what?
We need to know.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Morky Mama, these don't have the cotton candy flavor ones are so good. Now, besides, this is still good, but you try the Rockstar. Oh, it's so good. It doesn't have no bad aftertaste at all.
I'm going to try to fix my mic really quick. I'm going to mute real quick. I'll be right back. See if it sounds better.
No problem. You know what? Now that I don't think that's a half a cup. Now I'm debating because, you know, as I'm pouring it from the can and I'm like, it looks like a lot in my glass. But when I was looking at the can, it's like, it doesn't look like it's half gone. But I figured it looked like so much in the glass. I was like, oh, yeah, it's got to be. I come up and now it doesn't look like enough. Gosh darn it. Oh, well. Anyway, okay, so let me pull up the actual transcript so I could get that ready, right? Get that all ready for everybody. So how's everybody doing? Chat Magic 8 Ball, no sugar at all, Sarah. So the Rockstar doesn't have no sugar, Sarah, or? The Rockstars I used to drink when I drank Rockstars all the time were the sugar-free ones, though. It was the blue ones. They're blue, either they're low sugar or sugar-free, but they were in the blue can, and those are the ones I used to drink when I drank Rockstars before they came out with all these good flavors, but anyway. All right, so
We ready, guys?
white cans. You drank the white ones? I remember the
There's
white
colors. There's color
Well,
rock stars.
yeah, the can is they're all different, like different flavors or something, So it's just different kinds. Yeah. So there was white ones, there was blue ones. I did the blue. Now it's got me wondering what flavor did I do? I know they were blue. It was before they had the cotton candy. It was a long time ago when I was drinking them. What were the blue ones, guys? I don't even know if they still have the blue ones, but I'm pretty sure that they were like non-sugar for some reason. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Because I'm thinking because I drank so many of them, I didn't want to have all that sugar. Maybe I don't. Oh, she's saying the white cans were sugar free. Well, what is the blue ones? Hold on, I just have to know this real quick. It's gonna drive me nuts.
We're gonna be
I'm looking
doing
it up.
Darlie, and she's gonna be thinking Rockstar. So we gotta.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the blue ones are 0 carbs. That's what I used to drink. Or no. Yeah, 0 carb. Yep, these are the ones I used to drink. Hold on, let me see what flavor it was though. It doesn't.
Mesera brings up a good point. We do have 2 winners for your membership drawing.
Yeah, I've been bringing it up every live actually. I haven't yet in this one, but I've said it in every one about what I'm trying to tell them is I'm not telling them the winners right now because I'm giving them motivation to go see where the stuff's posted because a lot of people don't know. So instead of it's a little bit of motivation for them to go look and then they'll learn where so they know where the member stuff is posted. So it shows them. And I said if in a week passes I see that the winners aren't coming forward and they don't see it, I'll email them. But I just want to I don't want to announce it because I want them to wonder and be like, oh, let's go look, and then they know where it's at then, you know. Good idea. Yeah, I have brought it up. Okay, so hold on, I just got to know where is the flavor. I don't know, but it's 0 carb. I don't even know what flavor it was. It's probably like blue raspberry or something. I don't know why I'm guessing that just because it's blue. But anyway, so yeah. Hold on. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready
right.
Without my donut. I was telling everyone I should grab a donut to sound sugary and sweet.
Oh, huh. Did you eat?
I did.
Yeah.
I got that good.
God, who said it would be this hard to figure out a flavor? It maybe just doesn't have a flavor, because it was just like maybe I'm sorry, I'm still like, what flavor
You're
is
still on it?
It's 0 carb. No
pineapple, like it's kind of like
ew, no, it's not pineapple. I don't like pineapple. I wouldn't have liked it if it was pineapple.
Huh.
The blue one? Why did you drink the blue ones?
No, I've only had like one Red Bull and it tasted kind of pineapple-y, but I didn't like it.
That's Red Bull. We're talking about Rockstar, silly.
Sorry.
I mean, there's everything tastes different. Like there's different flavors. Like Rockstar has different kinds. Like Red Bull. I don't know. Red Bull only I think has its one kind. Maybe I know when it used to just always have just that one. So I don't know if they've came out with different flavors, but Rockstar has had different flavors. Monster has all the different ones. So yeah.
I'd be spracked out. I'd be on the ceiling upside down, probably from one Rockstar.
Sarah, no, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. The Bang, cotton candy, yes, it's sugar-free, Tennessee said. But we don't know if the Rockstar cotton candy is sugar-free. That's what we were trying to figure out. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. It didn't taste like it was sugar-free, but the Bang does you could taste that sugar-free taste. But it's still delicious. Don't get me wrong.
Maverick.
Still really good. What?
We have one in the UK called Kitty, but not the word kitty.
What?
Look at what she wrote.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Okay, I got to get off of this here.
You still haven't found it?
No, I'm trying to see the cotton candy if it's sugar free. The cotton candy. Anyway, okay. Something could tell me, but I bet you they have an option. They might have like a sugar free option and a regular, and I won't know what I got because I'm done with the Rockstar ones. But okay, so wait, hi Adelina. Wait, what am I looking at? We have one called. Oh, really, Maverick? Wow.
Hi, Casey.
What does that taste like?
I feel like that was the question that was coming next.
That's funny. Wow. I don't know. Okay, so let's start this.
Okay.
Gilly Gill in the house. Oh, so Mama Mia brought it to my attention, so I just want to address this real quick because she was trying to get on the merch links, the 3 separate ones that are under the thing, and she said it's not download, or it's only giving you one option. So I tried it, and I think the issue is, now correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody else has problems, let me know. But when I clicked on each one, it took a few minutes to actually download the bottom part where you could scroll down. So at first, when I first clicked on it, it just looked like it just had that one option, but you could kind of see that it was downloading. And if you looked, you could kind of see something was going on. It's just like, well, what the heck? And then I waited a few minutes, and then finally the rest of it downloaded at the bottom. So don't give up. Just wait a few minutes. It should download where you could scroll down and then see all the other stuff. So you could see all the other options, and it's not just the one that comes up for my merch. So, but if any of you guys, if it's still not working and you guys try to click on it and it's not working after you wait a few minutes, it's not downloading, let me know. But that should be what's going on because I just tried it. So, okay, 10 calories, 0 sugar. Oh, the Rockstar does? Wow, 0 sugar. Well, gosh darn it. They must, it's so good, that Rockstar. You cannot tell.
I really feel Rockstar really needs to reach out to you. I really feel this. And Bing is in competition. Bing, she will drink Bing only if you guys want to sponsor her. She won't ever bring up Rockstar again. Think about that.
Oh, you're funny. Alrighty. So Dragonfly. Yeah. Oh my God, Dragonfly. Dragonfly is that name is very
familiar.
Not very important, but bring memory. Yeah, very nostalgic. It's a song that makes me think of my boyfriend, the one boyfriend that died. It was a meaningful song. And then it was just meaningful, the whole Dragonfly thing. And I used to use that. Well, I shouldn't say well, it was a different combination, but I always used it for like passwords and different things or names or something, at least at first, because it was like it meant a lot to me because of the song and just a relationship and stuff. So it has a lot of meaning, and that's just crazy that you just popped up and you remember. Yay!
Thanks for
and I was just listening to that song yesterday on my run. I was like, yes, it was just like I hadn't listened to it forever, and I was like, wow. So yay. Anyway, I just had to say something real quick. Yeah. Sorry.
Patricia Strang wants to ask a question before we start. Go ahead, Patricia. Ask away.
Yeah.
Before we start. And
it's a good memory. It's a good memory. It's a good, even though he died, but it's a good, when I think about it, it's a good memory between us. You know what I'm saying? Even though, of course it's kind of sad because he died. It's really sad that he died, but I'm just saying that when I think of it, it's not like a bad memory. It's one of those, like, yeah, it kind of makes you sad because, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Definitely a good memory. Go ahead, Bella. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure she knew that it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, so you got to keep coming back, Dragonfly, because it makes Zab happy. Sarah Lee, thank you so much. We love you too. Thanks, all.
Sarah. Cute. Oh, thank you.
So Patricia wants to know, are we the girls who are doing a video with Candice Wells' mother?
I'm going to be, I was invited to do it Friday. Yeah. I'm going to announce that tomorrow on the channel, and I'll send the link and stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, it's going to be Friday at 5. I'll send the reminder. I'll do it all, but I just would rather talk about it or tomorrow because we're going to talk about the Summer Wells case tomorrow. We're going to do a live on it, and so I'd rather because I want to like at least say some things as I tell you what the channel is and stuff. So no, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But yes, that I am going to be on it. She did ask me. Okay, so. Okay. Let's do this.
We love you too, Fairy Lover 33. Thanks for all the love while we go into this, because we're not going to be able. And so I saw a comment. What I was going to say is I saw a comment where someone was like, you guys say that you're so undecided on this case, but you never tell us why. And I was like, well, it's probably because you haven't watched all of the 13 or whatever we've done where we've kind of explained along the way. And maybe we do need to do a refresher as to why we think there are some problems in this case. I don't know if we should do it today or if we should wait till
No.
Darlie ends.
No, I thought we were going to do a discussion when Darlie ends and we were
Yeah.
done. That was our
So-
plan, I thought.
Yeah, so just tune in for that. We're not trying to. Sorry, guys, my dog's about to leave. Sorry.
Well, we could link. I would love to link that first discussion that I did, the main discussion where I had taken so many notes from everything, all the documentaries, everything that I watched. I took so many notes and like I don't know. I just like explain and put out like all the doubts that I've had and all the issues and my thoughts before the transcripts. And then as we're reading the transcripts, some of my mind has changed a little bit. And, you just have a different perception as you're going through like more details. And as we're going through it, we kind of discuss sometimes when we're like, so yeah, it's kind of a process. I mean, you can't really just, but maybe we should link that one. And then I want to do one at the end. Now I don't want to do it tonight because we got to get through.
Yeah.
It's too late to.
I think it's a good idea to link it because if people just are watching one and they don't understand it because but yeah, you guys just hold on until we're done and then we'll kind of give you an idea, or if you've been here for the whole ride, you kind of get like a flavor of why, but you'll probably get a flavor tonight too. I'm sure it'll come up. We always interject because it's the first time we're reading the transcripts. So you'll see,
somebody is asking right now in chat or what?
No,
I don't know what you're referring
they
to.
left a comment on the last live on
so you don't
Darlie.
even know if they're here right now.
They might not be here, but yeah, I just wanted to, in case they watch this one, just kind of hang in there. Okay.
Oh, fairy lover, hey. Okay, so let's let's bring this up. Okay, let me zoom in. So it was when this break, right? You said, Are you sure? Because I don't.
36.
I write that down. Remember, I'm like, I'll write it down. I just went through all of I think a lot of my notebook, and I could not find it. The page? I need to get like a new notebook, starting over each for a specific thing because these are just a mess. All right.
Remember, though, you said you write it down, Bella, because I'm not, and so I did. But yeah.
But when I asked you, you said I think, so you didn't even know.
Yeah, because it wasn't in front of me. But yeah.
So you have it? You see it written down somewhere? Oh, yeah. You do. Okay, so you didn't tell me that. So it says 30. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we're good.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Should I be the court? Yeah, since I'm Douglas. So yeah, you could be the court.
I should be the court?
Yeah, because then I'm Douglas. So I'm right after. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. While we're assembling all of the mechanical devices, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Okay, that's what we did. All right. Be seated, please. Bring the jury in, please. All right. Let the record reflect that all parties in the trial are present and the jury is seated. Mr. Douglas and Mr. Mulder, you may both continue.
Yes, sir. Now, Darlie, at times on this 911 tape, are you carrying on a conversation with a 911 operator?
Yes, sir.
Wait, you know what? Before we start, gosh, I always do this. I should put a ticker down below so if people come in. Hold on one second, guys.
Absolutely do your ticker.
Yeah, it's important because some people come in and they're like, what are we doing?
And everyone take a moment to hit the thumbs up to let people know that we're live. And enjoy the show. Hopefully my voice doesn't sound weird and fried. I was saying earlier for anyone who came later that I should get donuts or something. Hold on, there's going to be noise at my house.
Wait, why? I don't understand that. Why you want to get donuts?
So that I was kind of joking so that I sound like sugary. Because like sometimes honey helps your voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I didn't do it because some people have an issue with people eating on the microphone.
Yeah, that might be. Well, for your for ASMR, when you do your ASMR.
Oh my gosh! I hope that's not how it ends up. But some people we already discussed it. Some people like that.
Yeah, I like the eating ASMR ones. But isn't that weird? Like the talking, like when I'm trying to like hear somebody talking, I said that Mel sounds bother me. I can edit it out. But like with ASMR, sometimes the eating, I like. I don't know. It's
But they're
weird. I'm
eating.
complicated, but they're
You're
eating. Yeah.
complicated. But they're eating like honeycombs, like they're eating like crunchy stuff. It's not just like mouth noises. It's like,
Yeah, so it's supposed to be, it makes
yeah,
sense. Otherwise, it just doesn't. And I have them too, guys. I'm not saying it's just a part of, your mouth gets dry sometimes. And all
it's
right, so
human. Okay. So
let's
we're
do
at
this.
15. But
Now,
ask the question
oh yeah.
again.
Now, Darlie, at times on this 911 tape, are you carrying on a conversation with a 911 operator?
Yes, sir.
And at times, are you also talking to your husband?
Yes, sir. I was talking to at least 3 people at once.
And at times, are you also talking to the police officer after he arrives there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you know whether or not each of the people, of course, the 911 operator has no idea who else is present?
No, she is on the phone.
Okay. So is it fair to say that at times that it is understandable that each of these people think you're talking to them, even though you may just be talking to one of the other three?
As chaotic as it was, I definitely think that is a possibility.
But if you're talking to Waddell and you're speaking into the phone and the communications operator doesn't know but what you are talking to her.
Yeah, whatever she would be hearing.
I'm just gonna zoom. Okay. Likewise, if you answer your husband and you're still talking into the phone, she would have reason to believe that.
Oh, that I was talking to her. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And at one point toward the end, initially the communications officer says, "Don't touch anything." And you said something about a knife, and she said, "Don't touch anything." And you said, "I've already picked it up," or "I've already touched it." Words to that effect.
Yes. So I've heard several times.
Okay. Now, in another situation in there, Officer Waddell says something about a knife.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you made a remark to him?
Yes, sir.
There is also in the conversation there is a direction, and of course you were here when Waddell testified and said he didn't recognize his voice saying to get the rags.
Yes, sir.
Was that Waddell or was that Darren?
No, sir. That was not Waddell. I know my husband's voice.
All right.
I have listened to that tape many times.
Okay. Judge, what I would like to suggest to the jury is that they listen to the tape with our bold print italicized part first so that you know where our discrepancies are. And then
All right, roll the tape then.
And then once you have spotted that, I would like to have you play it again so you can hear it again like that. And then I would like to play it again for you a third time where you can just hear our version.
All right. If you will proceed, please, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, sir. All right. This is the right one without the cover sheet on it. Everybody got it? Okay.
Okay.
Judge, now that they have kind of identified the areas, we would like to play it through one more time like this, and then finally play it through with them not looking at this, but just looking at our version, and so they can check it.
All right, you may proceed.
But now, if you will look at this thing, now that you have identified it, and then we will go through it with ours.
All right, let's go. All right.
Judge, now we would like for them to just take our version and listen to it, and that is the one with the cover sheet on it.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
There is a word in there, Darlie, that they say is fighting, and you said
Frightened.
frightened, it sounds like?
I didn't say fighting.
Okay, all right.
All right, Mr. Douglas, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, crank her up. All right. I think, ladies and gentlemen, what we will do now, we will break for lunch until 1:15 and be back at that time. Can you make it back at 10 after? Can all of the jurors make it back by 10 after 1? Okay, all right. The same instructions as always. No discussing the case amongst yourselves. Do no investigation on your own. Please remain seated, please, until the jury clears the courthouse.
Do no investigation on your own. Leave everything that you've been given right there, please. All right. Do not take that with you. Let the jury clear the courthouse, please. Okay, see everybody back here at 1:15. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you would let the jury leave the courthouse. All right. All right, are both sides ready to bring the jury back in and continue?
Yes, sir. The defense is ready. Yes, sir. The state is ready.
All right. Everyone find a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring the jury in, please. Let the record reflect that all parties in the trial are present and the jury is seated. Mr. Mulder.
Yes, sir. Darlie, I think we were at that point in time where you said that Darren had come back from taking Dana home.
Yes, sir, that evening.
Yes?
Yes.
The evening of the 5th, and he come home. About what time did he get home?
I want to say it was sometime after 10.
Okay.
A little bit after 10.
All right. And tell the jury what happened after he got home. Where you were, where the boys were, what was going on?
Well, after we got home, or after Darren got home, Devin was sleeping in front of the TV, directly in front of the TV. Damon was lying beside the couch. He wasn't asleep yet, but he was laying there with his little kitten. I was laying on the couch with Drake on me. Drake was awake.
Okay. And Darren came in, and what happened?
Darren came in, and after a few minutes, Drake was getting a little bit fussy because he was ready to go to bed. So I made Drake a bottle, and Darren went upstairs. He said something about he was going to watch the news and that he would feed Drake and put him down to sleep.
So he took Drake with him when he went upstairs?
Yes, sir. He took Drake with him.
All right. And after a period of time, did he come back?
Yeah, after about 30 minutes.
Okay. Did you all continue to talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you talk about the trip you were taking?
Yeah, we talked about many things. We talked about,
What was said about the trip to Pennsylvania?
well, just that I talked to my father earlier, and they were really looking forward to us coming. And it was my grandparents' 50th anniversary. And
When were you due out there?
we were to fly in on the 14th of June.
Where would you fly?
We were flying into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then I had my relatives coming to pick me up in Pittsburgh. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Pittsburgh to Altoona.
Had airplane tickets?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And for all 5 of you?
Yes. Well, Drake was just an infant that sat on your lap, so you didn't really have to purchase a ticket for Drake.
But tickets for the rest of y'all?
Yes, sir. We had tickets for months.
When were you coming back from Pennsylvania?
I want to say that we were coming back like the 28th, I think, because it was a Saturday, because I had a baby shower that I was going to give on Sunday.
So you were going to be gone for 2 weeks or thereabouts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else did y'all talk about?
We talked about the business a little bit. We talked about business every day. Just basically, what was going on. Was it busy? Was it slow? What's going on? That kind of thing.
Okay.
We talked about.
Okay. Did you still help with the business some?
Some, not as much. At that time, Drake was getting around a lot more and Devin was out for school. And so I wanted to be, at home with the boys.
Okay. Had you brought any records home from the personal records home from the business?
Yes, sir, I had.
Tell us about those. And where were they in your home?
It was around March that I quit working at the shop where I didn't go up there all the time. I would drop in once in a while, but not on a daily basis. And I just took all of my personal files. The files that had been mentioned during this trial were my personal files from my office. They were in folders. They had labels on them. It wasn't just papers on the will or papers on insurance or anything like that.
Well, had you consulted a lawyer about estate planning?
Yes, I had done that.
And you saw the letter that was admitted into evidence.
Yes, sir.
Now, the other things that, I guess, directions as to how you wanted the estate divided up in the event that you died in some common disaster.
If Darren and I were to die together is mainly what I was concerned with. Because on our insurance policies, I think you become an automatic beneficiary if your spouse dies. I think it's automatic. You have it written up to where,
Were those directions in with the letter from the lawyer?
yes, sir, there was a lot more papers in with all that stuff than what had been shown.
And that had been done some time back.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember the green plastic container that was pointed out to the jury as the container in which you kept your sewing equipment?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any sewing equipment in there?
No, sir.
What was in that?
It was all files inside of that.
And were those papers that you brought home from the office?
Yes, sir.
Personal papers that you had?
Yes, sir.
Just hadn't found a place for them in the house?
No, actually, I had been talking about getting a file cabinet, and I didn't want just a regular plain file cabinet that sat out in the middle of the. I wanted a file cabinet that looked like a piece of furniture. It's harder to find those.
You wanted a file cabinet that didn't look like a file cabinet?
Well, yes, I guess you could say that.
Okay. At any rate, what else did you all talk about?
We talked about the boat.
What about the boat?
We had not been using the boat very much since Drake was born, and the boat had had a problem, and it was going to cost, I don't know. I think Darren had told me like $800 or something to get fixed. He had just gotten an estimate from somebody, and we discussed getting rid of the boat because we weren't using it anymore. There wasn't an argument. That's all been taken out of context. There was not an argument about the boat. There was not an argument about the car. What I was upset about was that a man had called me earlier and had pretty much, he was very rude and had cussed me out over the phone about something that I didn't even know about. My husband's car was at his shop and he wanted my husband to come and pick it up. And he was very rude to me and I was upset about it.
It wasn't your fault?
Well, I didn't even know about it.
Okay. Did you discuss that?
Yeah.
And you talked about the boat?
Yes, sir.
You thought the boat was a headache that y'all didn't need?
Yes. And my husband had made plans to put the boat in the boat trader. Matter of fact, I think that he'd spoken to somebody about that.
All right. But it was just a normal discussion between you and your husband?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And about what time did you decide you were going to stay downstairs versus going upstairs?
I don't really know. As far as what time, it was sometime while we were talking.
Okay. Did you have a pillow there?
No, Darren went upstairs and got me a pillow and a blanket.
Is that the maroon pillow that we have seen here?
Yes, sir. It's got the squares or diamonds on it, I think.
Okay. And he brought that down to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you visit some more, or was that...
We were kissing for a little bit.
Okay. And then did he go on upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And will you tell the jury where you were stationed on that sofa? Was your head toward the TV set or away from it?
Well, my head was like, if I'm sitting like I am right now, the TV was behind me.
Okay.
My head would be right here.
All right. Where would your feet be?
My feet would be down here.
Okay. You had a blanket?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What color was the blanket?
The blanket was green.
Okay. And you had the maroon pillow?
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
As far as what I had?
No, as far as pillows or blankets or anything of that nature.
There was another gold pillow underneath me.
Okay. Anything else?
I can tell you what the boys had.
All right.
Devin had a Power Ranger pillow about right here, and he had his head here with his legs going toward the TV. Damon was on a gold pillow down here by the couch. His head was on the gold pillow with his feet facing towards the couch. And he had a blue pillow and he was laying right with his little black kitten, right there with his little black kitten.
Okay, all right. And Darren went on upstairs to bed.
Yes, sir. I asked him if he had made sure that the front door was locked, and he said that he did. And I asked him to turn off the kitchen light as he was going upstairs.
Okay. Did you all set your alarm?
No, sir, I wish we had.
Okay.
We never set our alarm. We had it set a couple of times, and a couple of times that we set it, it went off. And I don't know if it went off because of the cats or what, but it went off, and it was a real big deal. And anyway, we just kind of got out of the habit of not setting it.
Okay. All right. So were you still watching TV or what?
I watched TV briefly, just for a few minutes.
Okay. Then curled up with your head toward the TV set and your feet away.
I went to sleep. I was tired.
Okay. Was Devin asleep?
Both of the boys were asleep.
All right. He was facing toward the TV set,
Yes, sir.
and the other youngster, Damon, was facing away from it, as were you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you go to sleep?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. Darlie, what is the very next thing that you remember that you either felt or heard or saw?
The next thing that I remember is Damon hitting my right shoulder, and he said, Mommy, or he said, Mommy, Mommy. I'm not sure, but he said, Mommy. I looked up, and you've got to remember that I'm not completely awake. You know, when you first wake up, you're not completely wide awake. And there was a man that was down, going away from the couches, walking away from me. I started to get up, and when I stood up, I heard noise like glass breaking. I started to walk toward the kitchen. Damon was behind me, and when I got to the kitchen, I put my hand back there for Damon to stay. And when I got to the kitchen, I could see the guy going into the utility room.
Were the lights on?
No, sir, the lights were off.
Okay. So the area was illuminated by the big screen TV set only?
There was a little bit of, there was a little bit of light. I don't know what you would call that, just kind of
Okay.
a glare maybe.
All right. Okay. What happened?
I started to take a couple of steps into the kitchen, and I realized that the lights were off. So I turned back around and I flipped the lights on real quick. I started walking to the kitchen.
Where was the man by this time?
He was gone. He was out of my sight.
All right.
I got into the kitchen and I got to where the island is. There's an island in the middle of the kitchen. I got to where the island was, and it was at that moment that I realized that I had blood on me. And I kept going, walking a little bit, and I saw a knife lying in the utility room. The knife wasn't completely the whole way in the utility room. It was just like a little bit into the doorway of the utility room. It was just in instinct. I picked up the knife. It was an instinct to pick up the knife. I didn't think about it. It was just an instinct. I picked up the knife. I brought the knife back to the kitchen counter, and I set it up on the kitchen counter. At that time, I started to walk into the living room, and it was at that time that I saw Devin, and he was laying on the floor, and he wasn't moving, and his eyes were open, and he had cuts on him that were so big.
Did you say anything at that time?
I screamed, Devin. I screamed out, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was at that time that I turned back around and I went to Damon, and Damon was still standing up.
Could you see that he had been hurt or cut or anything at that point?
Not at that time. I couldn't see that he'd been hurt. I just started checking all over him, and when I turned him around, I could see big, huge wounds through his shirt. I started screaming and I ran into the entranceway and I flipped on the lights real quick and I was screaming, Darren, Devin, Darren, Devin. And we ran back into the hallway. Darren went over to Devin. And I went into the kitchen and flipped the lights on and I grabbed the phone. And I went to the drawer where there's towels in the drawer. And I went to the drawer and I went over to the sink and I got the towels wet.
Did you have all the lights on now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So the area of both the den and the kitchen was fully illuminated.
Yes, sir.
You went over to the kitchen, you got the phone, and then what did you do?
I went to the kitchen, I got the phone, and then I went to the drawer and I got the towels, and then I went to the sink.
Okay, why did you get the towels?
I just wanted to help to stop the bleeding. I didn't know what to do. I was just reacting.
Okay, so you got the towels.
I got the towels and I went to the sink and I got the towels wet.
All right. Were you on the phone with 911?
At that time, I think 911 came on.
Okay.
I don't know what I said. I mean,
do you know if you got the towels before you called 911 or you called 911 before you got the towels? Or did it all happen about the same time?
yeah, I mean, I got the towels and I was calling 911 as I got the towels.
All right. And after you got the towels wet, did you take those to Darren?
I got a couple of towels wet. I went to Damon first.
Okay.
I put a towel on Damon's back. There's been a lot of controversy that I didn't do that, but I did do that. I put a towel on my baby's back.
You were the only one. The police didn't get any towels out, did they?
No, sir, the police did not get any towels out.
Darren didn't get any towels out?
Darren didn't get any towels out. Darren was trying to save Devin.
All right. So you got the towels and you took them to Damon.
I put a towel on Damon. Then I told him to hold on. I said, hold on, baby. And he said, okay, mommy. That is the last thing that he said to me.
All right, Darlie, just tell us, as the best you recall, what happened after that.
I went over to Darren, and Darren was down, and he was breathing into Devin's mouth. And I didn't know how to do CPR. I didn't even know what I was doing. When Darren was blown into Devin's mouth, you could see some blood coming out of his wounds on the side of his chest.
All right, what did you do?
I didn't know what to do. All I did was just put a towel on it. I didn't know what to do.
How did you put the towel down?
I just put the towel on top of his chest wound.
Okay.
After that, I ran back, and I think that's when I ran and I screamed for Karen across the street because I didn't know what to do. And I knew that I had to get help.
Karen is the nurse?
Karen is a nurse, and she is one of my best friends. And I knew that she would know what to do.
Okay.
So I called for Karen.
Did you get more towels? Did you go back and forth to the sink?
Yes, sir. I got more towels. I got another towel. I didn't know what I was doing. I got another towel and I went back to the sink and I got another towel and I put another towel beside Damon and I told him to hang on again. He was still alive. He was still trying to breathe.
What was Darren doing at this time?
Darren was still with Devin.
All right. Were y'all frantic?
Yes, sir, very much. Can you imagine? Your babies are dying in front of you. What do you do? What do you do?
Both of you were frantic.
Yes, sir.
Did you keep talking to 911 or do you know?
I don't even remember. There was so much going on. At one time, it was crazy.
Did the police come?
Yes, sir. An officer came.
All right. Did Officer Waddell come?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Officer Waddell came in. I was standing over at the kitchen bar and I was leaning over the vacuum cleaner that was there earlier because I was a little dizzy and I couldn't breathe very good. That vacuum cleaner was right there.
Did you know how badly you had been hurt at that time?
No, I didn't know. I had seen my neck in the mirror.
Where is the mirror located?
The mirror is located behind the wine rack in the kitchen.
Okay, so it's obscured somewhat by the wine glass and the wine bottles.
It's behind the wine rack.
Okay, and this area, can you see that?
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Okay, that is the wine rack?
Yes.
There is a mirror back here on the wall.
Yes, sir.
Okay, was Waddell as consumed and taken back by the horror of the scene as you all were?
Yes, sir.
Was he of much help?
No, sir.
Okay, did you heard this 911 tape 20 times, I bet, haven't you?
Yes, I've heard it a lot.
Okay, when we tried to figure out what was going on and what was being said and who was saying what,
Yes, sir.
okay, and you talk at times to Waddell, do you not?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
All right. You are carrying on a number of conversations with a number of people.
I'm talking to a lot of different people. I didn't even know really what was going on.
All right. At any rate, did the paramedics get there?
Waddell was in the living room and he told me to sit down or lay down. I don't remember which. And I did that.
You had been holding on to the vacuum cleaner.
I had just been leaning over it for support just to keep myself up. When I sat down, I kind of took the vacuum cleaner with me.
Okay.
I don't know which way. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I have heard all kinds of stuff about that. And
Okay. Did you ever see the vacuum cleaner in the kitchen?
no, sir.
Was the vacuum cleaner ever in the kitchen at any time?
No, sir. The vacuum cleaner was never in the kitchen while I was there.
Okay.
I know because I ran back and forth through that kitchen. That vacuum cleaner was not in the kitchen at all.
Okay. What happened after the paramedics got there, Darlie?
Sergeant Walling got there, and Sergeant Walling right away was, he was they ran. He said something to Waddell, and Sergeant Walling and Waddell ran through the kitchen and went into the garage.
Do you know if they went by the wine rack or if they went by the sink?
I think that they went by the wine rack.
Okay.
I think that they both went through where the wine rack is.
Okay.
It seemed about, I don't know. At that time, Darren ran out of the room also. Not with them, but he ran the other way towards the front door.
Okay. How long was it before you were taken to the front porch?
I don't know, sir. When the paramedics came in, one of them went back. One of them went over to Devin, and one of them went to Damon. And he was doing something to Damon, and I saw him put his hands on Damon's neck. Damon had his head away from me, and I asked him, is he dead? And he wouldn't answer me. But when he picked him up and turned him over, his eyes were open and he wasn't moving.
Okay. Did they take Damon out?
Yes, sir, they took Damon out.
All right. And moments later, did they take you to the front porch?
Yes, sir, but I didn't remember, though.
Okay. You don't remember them taking you from the den to the front porch?
No, sir.
Do you remember them taking you from the front porch to the ambulance?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Vaguely.
Okay.
When I was out on the front porch, there were so many people.
Do you know how many paramedics came into that room?
I have no idea. I know there was a lot of people running in and out of that house.
Do you know how many police officers were in there?
I have no idea. I know it had to have been at least, while I was there, it had to have been at least 2 or 3.
Okay. Do you know how many paramedics? Could it have been as many as 6 or 7 paramedics?
Are you talking about paramedics and
I'm talking about the firemen in the house.
Yes, there were several. I don't know the exact number, but there were several.
As many as 5 or 6 or so.
More.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
There was at least 5 or 6.
Do you remember them taking you from the front porch to the ambulance?
Vaguely.
Do you remember Darren helping you on the stretcher?
Darren, and there was another, I think he was a paramedic. They tried to help me over to the stretcher. And when I stood up, Darren said something to me that my panties were gone.
Hold on, sorry. Is that the first that you realized?
That is the first that I realized that my panties were even, that they were gone.
You were taken on to Baylor Hospital
Yes, sir.
and they bandaged your,
They bandaged my right arm at the door. I believe the paramedic told me that he was going to bandage it and that it might hurt because he was going to have to put a lot of pressure on it to stop the bleeding.
okay,
And they also bandaged my neck at the front door as well.
okay.
I don't remember very much because there were so many people. You have got to remember you kind of have to put yourself in that situation. There were a lot of people running in and out and screaming and yelling. It was
Chaotic?
very chaotic. And for anybody to sit up here and say that I wasn't, it was very chaotic.
You talked to Darren once you were in the ambulance.
Yes.
Did you know at that time that your sons were both dead?
Yes, sir.
Did he try to go to the hospital with you in the ambulance?
He tried to get into the ambulance. I don't know what they said to him, but I know he did try to get into the ambulance.
Okay. You were taken on to the hospital.
Yes, sir. It took them a little while to decide where they were going. I remember the one paramedic. There was a bunch of people in there, but the one paramedic was talking back with the paramedic in the front that was driving, and you could hear the radio, I guess, where they were getting their instructions of which hospital to go to. And at first they were saying Baylor Garland, something, Baylor Garland. And then they said something like, no, Baylor Dallas. And it was like they were trying to decide which place that they were going to go to.
Okay. Were you asked by any of the police officers at the scene as to what does this man look like and how much of him you saw?
Yes, sir. I believe that Sergeant Wallen asked me at the front door a description of the man.
Okay. What did you tell him?
I told him that I wasn't sure if he was white or black because it was dark, but that I assumed that he was white because of his hair.
What was there about his hair?
His hair was longer and it was straight. And he had dark colored cap on his head.
Okay. Did you ever see the front of the cap?
No, sir. Later they asked me in the hospital if the bill of the cap, if I could see it from the back. And I told them no, that I could not see the bill from the back.
Okay. Some people wear their hat backwards with the bill around the back.
My little boys wear their hats sometimes with the bill around the back.
Okay. And you said you didn't see the bill.
No, sir.
Do you know if the cap even had a bill?
Well, I can't say for sure.
Okay. What else did you give them? What other description did you give them?
I told him that he had a dark colored t-shirt and he had on jeans.
Okay. Did they ask you about how tall he was or how much he weighed?
Not until later.
Okay.
In the hospital, somebody asked me how tall he was, I think.
Okay. Detective Frosch is considerably taller than Detective Patterson.
Yeah, he looks like it.
All right. And was he built more along the lines of Detective Frosch than Detective Patterson?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell them that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you, darling, when Detectives Patterson and Frosch came to see you in the hospital, did you cooperate with them?
As much as I could, yes.
Did you answer the questions?
Yes.
Okay. You stayed there in the hospital for 3 days?
Yes.
Okay.
I was released on Saturday.
Okay. Your family came down to visit you?
Yes, sir.
And your in-laws, Sorelda and is it Lenny?
Yes.
Routier from Lubbock?
Yes, sir.
And your sisters and your mother and relatives came to see you?
I was told a lot of people came to see me. I don't really remember very much of the people actually being in there, but yes, that is what I was told.
You saw Drake? He was there?
Yes, I do remember Drake.
Okay. They brought Drake down a couple times, did they?
Yeah. The time that I really remember being with Drake was Saturday, and Karen had brought Drake up to the hospital, and they had taken the last of my tubes out of my arms, and Karen put them on my stomach, and I fed him a bottle. There was another time before that, but I really don't remember very much about it.
Okay. Another time when Karen brought Drake down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Darlie, you have heard testimony about the bruises to your arms.
Yes, sir.
Did you realize that your arms had been bruised there in the hospital?
I realized a little bit later that they had been bruised in the hospital.
I didn't mean when you first got to the hospital,
Right.
but while you were still there at the hospital.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And until you heard Dr. Santos and Dr. Dillon and Dr. DeMayo
Mm-hmm.
testify that these bruises were the result of blunt trauma?
Yes, sir. I don't know that that is what they're caused from.
Did you realize that you had been beaten?
No, sir. I thought that the bruise on my right arm was because of the wound. I had no idea that it was from,
Blunt trauma.
yes, blunt trauma until I heard them talking about it.
The bruise on your left arm, where you had the medical intervention, the IV, and the arterial line,
Yes, sir.
did you assume that those had caused the injuries to your...
I assume that the IV did because I have had IVs before that have done that.
I'll ask you, Darlie, while you were there at the hospital, if you realized anything unusual about the inside of your mouth.
Yes, sir.
What was that?
My mouth was very sore. It felt kind of raw inside.
Do you know what caused that?
I don't know what caused it. I can tell you what I can speculate. I can tell you what I think caused it.
What do you think caused it?
I think that the man had his hand over my mouth while he was attacking me.
Okay. Do you have any recollection of this man attacking you and beating you severely and cutting you?
I don't have any, what you would say that, that I can remember him doing that. I have assumed that that is what he has done because common sense tells you that that is what he has done.
Well, do you have any recollection of fighting with him or struggling with him?
No,
Okay.
not as far as remembering.
You can look at your arms and at the bruises and the stab marks.
That's all I ever said.
The bruises and the stab marks would lead you to that inescapable conclusion, would it not?
I think it led all of us to that conclusion.
Okay, but you have no recollection.
No, sir.
Okay.
I have sat in a jail cell for 7 months, and I've tried to think very hard. I've tried to do self-relaxation. I have talked to Lisa about self-relaxation. Kind of.
Have you had dreams, nightmares?
Yes, sir. I have had a lot of dreams.
You and
I-
Darren. Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
have had dreams.
You and Darren also went to a psychic?
Well, we had a psychic come out to the house.
Okay. You had a psychic come to your mother's house
We had a psychic come to the house.
on Eel Drive
Yes, sir.
and go through the house with you.
Yes, sir. It's not something that I really believe in or practice, but I think that when you're a parent and you're desperate to find answers, that you will do just about anything.
What did the psychic tell you? Judge, we will object to hearsay.
Sustained.
Did the psychic give you a description of what had... Judge, we will object to hearsay. Judge, I'm not going to get into it, but about him going into a description, and we will object to relevance as to what a psychic told him.
Well, I'll let you rephrase the question, Mr. Mulder, and before you answer, ma'am, if Mr. Shook wants to make an objection, I'll let him make an objection. So please state your question.
Did you all go through the house with a psychic?
A little bit.
Okay, and did the psychic do whatever psychics do out there?
Yes.
I guess the psychic went through the house?
Yes.
Was it a male psychic or?
Actually, she says that she is a psychic.
Judge, I'll object to hearsay.
Sustained. Let's don't say what anyone else says. Okay, she is a psychic and an investigator,
Okay.
not just a psychic.
But at any rate, did she give you her impressions of what had gone on in the house?
Yes, sir. That's all right. Just wait until the next question comes up. Okay.
And have you discussed with your mother and with your husband and with friends what the psychic said?
I have discussed it with just about everybody I know.
Okay. What? Okay.
What the psychic said in my dreams.
You were released from the hospital on the 8th. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Saturday.
And went to the viewing where your son's bodies were?
Didn't go directly to the viewing.
Well, you went from there. Didn't you go directly?
I went directly from the hospital with the police to the police department.
Okay.
And then from the police department to the viewing.
All right. Did the police know that you had a viewing that evening?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did they tell you that it was necessary for you to come by and make a statement?
Yes, sir. They were very adamant about that.
All right. Did you and Darren both go by and make a statement to the police?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you cooperate with the police?
Very much so.
Okay. And after the viewing, the funeral was the next day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Darren and his mother had pretty much arranged the funeral, had they not?
They arranged most of the funeral and they would come back to the hospital and tell me what was going on.
All right. Did you know that they were going to have the gangsters?
I didn't know until I got there.
Okay, but was that, in fact, your boys' one of their favorite songs?
Yes, sir. And I think that that's been made way too much of an issue. Children,
Did the boys understand the lyrics to that song?
no, the boys didn't understand the lyrics. They just understood the beat, the rhythm. A lot of children are like that. That is how they teach them in school. I've been around children a lot. I have been a volunteer, and children, communication is taught through music.
Judge, we will object to the non-responsiveness of that answer.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Why do the children like that music?
Children like the music because of the beat and the rhythm. A lot of communication is taught to children through music.
Did your boys like music?
Very much. I don't know too many children that don't.
They danced to the music, would they?
Oh, yes.
All right. And you would sing to your children, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you sing to them frequently?
Yes, sir.
And what would you sing to them?
I sang to them all kinds of songs.
Okay. Did they have any favorites?
They have lots of favorites. I sang Jesus Loves Me to Drake every night.
Okay. And that was one of the songs that was played at the funeral, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall what other song was played at the funeral?
I believe it was I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
All right. Was that one of y'all's favorites?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After the funeral, there was sometime later there was a graveside service.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did that follow the funeral?
Well, which one are you talking about?
Well, was there a graveside service that immediately followed the funeral?
Oh, yes. Yes, there was.
And then there was a prayer service some 4 or 5 days later.
On the 14th.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Following the prayer service there. Darlie, there was a birthday party
Yes, sir.
or a celebration of sorts.
Yes, there was.
Were you there for that?
Yes, I was.
Was that your idea?
Well, no, it wasn't. It was my sister's.
How did that come about and why?
Well, it was Devin's birthday, and for those of you who have children, Devin wanted nothing more than to be 7. Devin asked me day in and day out for 2 weeks, Mommy, am I 7 yet? And I told him, no, not yet, but you will be soon. And it was a way of telling Devin happy birthday. I didn't see anything wrong with it. We've been criticized and ridiculed. How do you ever know what you're going to do unless you're placed in the same situation? And Who has that right to tell you?
Judge, I object to the narrative non-responsive going into a narrative.
Ma'am, let me just caution you. Just answer the question as briefly as you can, okay? I'm trying to. I know you are, and you're doing a good job. Thank you. Just try to be very brief.
Darlie, did you love those children?
I love those children more than my life. They were the most important thing to me, and what they have done is wrong.
Did you ever harm those children?
Never.
Okay. Did you stab those children and then cut yourself?
No, I did not stab those children, nor did I try to stab myself.
Would you have any reason to do anything like that?
No, sir.
But to love those children?
No, sir.
Do you know who did kill your children?
No, sir.
We will pass the witness. They will have some questions for you.
Mr. Shook,
Yes, sir.
can we take a small break so I can turn the lights on for the dogs because
Yeah.
they're going to get ornery?
Okay.
So for everybody, like that was the defense, and now we're going into the prosecution examining Darlie.
Alright.
I'll mute myself and be right back in like 1 minute, 60 seconds.
All right. All right, guys. How are you? Oh, I gotta. Hold on. Let me put this chair. Hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. How you guys doing? So we're gonna keep these at like 2 hours max because that's just, and I think it's just so it's too much to like do like hours upon hours of this reading. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do like another half hour because I'm already I'm already kind of like whoo. Oh, my butt is kind of hurting. I'm silly. Okay, so hey Z, what's up Z? I like your name, Z. Roxanne Wilkie, hey. Judge would say that, and the attorney wouldn't object. It's really fun. Yeah, you'll see with his trial, the judge is so on the state side. Like it's crazy how much he basically how he sustains objections and overrules objections are always in favor of the state. It's ridiculous. Actually, I mean, it's extreme how he is, and that's another reason I feel like she deserves another trial. Well, thanks, Darksea. Are you back, Bella?
I am.
All
Okay,
right, let's
whenever you're
continue because I might let's just do like maybe 30 more minutes because I'm already like
You're
this is
tired?
well, this is my third live and my butt
I know
don't
it
know, my butt's
is.
kind of starting to hurt and like no, I'm not
you're
necessarily
a rock
tired,
star.
but I'm just ready to I don't know. We said we want to keep it at a half hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's already an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah. Okay.
So it's easy for you guys to come back and like listen to each part and you don't have to commit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, ready when you are.
Okay. Where are we now?
Oh,
Toby. Okay, so yeah, now we're at the prosecution. The state isn't going to be questioning her now. Okay. Miss Routier, you started that business Testneck with your husband, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you worked there alongside him through the years when y'all were building it up, didn't you?
Pretty much so, yes.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't his operation. You took equal part in that company and built it up with him, didn't you?
Sure.
And you ran, in fact, I think your main primary job in that was running the books, is that right?
Pretty much, to a certain degree. I mean, we had a CPA, but the daily routine, the daily work.
You would keep up with that, and as far as accounts go and who owed you money and the things like that, more or less, the business operation.
Yes, sir.
You also helped make some of the computer parts or whatever you did there, the circuit boards?
Yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I tried to help out whenever I could, whenever they needed me.
And you even when you quit working there as much, you still went up there on a weekly basis, did you not?
Yeah, I would stop in.
Oh, thank you for the super chat, Brianna. Oh, thanks. Hang in there.
Oh. Yeah, she's done 3 lives, you guys. She's a super trooper.
Oh. All right. So Where are we? Okay, she said I would stop in. Okay. Okay, and you still help with the books if they needed it.
Well, at that time, I usually brought the books home, but yeah, I mean, I did the books, but I did it at home.
You would work at home with the business?
Yes, sir.
And every day you discuss what was going on with the business with your husband, did you not?
Pretty much.
And the decisions made in the business, those were made by Darren and yourself.
That part, I would have to say more of it was Darren than me, but I mean, I knew about it
You certainly had input in it, didn't you?
sometimes.
That is why you discussed that even on the night of the 5th, y'all were talking about the business.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you did all this while you were running the home also.
Yes, sir.
And as far as the home goes, you were the one that decided decorating the home, making purchases for the home, how it looked, and that kind of thing. Did you not?
Well, most of it, yes.
And you would keep the house up and keep it clean and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I had help.
When did you start getting help with the house?
Well, actually, I had had a maid service for quite some time.
When did that start?
I don't have an exact date for you. I can say approximately 2 years ago.
Okay, and they would come in every week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then, of course, the week of the murder, you had... How do you
I
say
think
that
it's
name?
Babisha, isn't it?
Bab...
Ba-
I
Isn't it
forget
Basha?
now. Basha,
Isn't
but...
it Basha? But
Yeah,
why,
but
are they
why is
spelling
it spelled? That was like, wait, I think it's supposed to be Basha. You had Basha come in for a couple of days. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Babsha.
Babsha.
Anyway.
You guys, one of the things when we first started doing these transcripts is there was like, what is it, 30,000 mistakes? So I guess this is one of the mistakes. Like this is the person whose name you keep seeing, Sandra Helsley, I think she's the one that got fired for doing a really poor job of transcripts. So, okay, sorry. You want to repeat it, even though you don't?
Okay, and then of course the week of the murder, you had Basha come in for a couple of days.
Yeah, if I can explain, the people that I was having clean, they had changed to a bunch of different people and they weren't doing as good of a job as what they normally would do. And so I had to let them go. And I had another lady come in and clean, and she was very nice. But every time she cleaned, she ended up breaking something. And it ended up costing me more money to have her clean than what she was breaking.
So you were having people then coming in for the last 2 years helping you clean.
Yes, sir.
You also, did you have some of these teenage girls help you watch over the kids?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say watch over the kids. I think that was kind of an excuse that they used to be in the house.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't really want to say that they were coming over to be with, a 5 and 6 year old.
So let me ask you, you said that Darren fixed the gate that Wednesday night.
Yes, sir, he did.
Did you go try the gate out yourself?
No, I did.
Are you telling this jury then that gate was swinging freely?
I don't know if it was swinging or not. I don't know. All I know is Darren told me that he fixed it.
That gate was hanging on hinges by shoestrings and coat hangers and things like...
Shoestrings?
Yeah, have you seen the photographs?
No, sir.
Had you all been making some repairs to that gate?
Yes, sir.
Put some new poles in?
My husband, I think, did. I'm not too sure about that.
Okay. What do you know when those poles were put in?
No, sir. I couldn't tell you that.
Let me show you 13D, 13C. Can you see that gate there?
Yes, sir.
Do you see the strings attached from the poles to the gate?
Yes, on that one I do. I see it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a shoestring, but it looks like some type of string.
Some type of string.
Yes, sir.
The same thing in this photograph.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but was the gate dragging? Was that the problem?
Yeah, the bottom of the gate.
Okay, and you did...
I don't know anything about the poles, really. I just know about the gate.
Did you go out that gate on the date of the 5th?
Did I go out the gate?
Yes.
No, sir, I did not.
You were home all day, weren't you?
Yes, sir, I was.
Had you been having trouble getting through the gate?
Yes, sir, we had.
Okay, would you have to actually lift the gate up and try to put it in the air to keep it from dragging on the concrete?
Sort of. I mean, it drug. You kind of had to. I think one of the officers described it a good way as kind of pushing your foot.
Right. That was Sergeant Walling. He had to shove his foot to shove the gate open.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it was no easy task getting in and out of that gate, was it?
I wouldn't say it was easy, but I wouldn't say it was hard.
Well, if you knew what you were doing, it would be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Well, I would think that anybody, really. I mean, me and my boys got it open.
They had been in and out of it several times.
Sure.
And you knew how to get in and out of it, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think it takes too much to know how to get in and out of it.
Okay. And the vacuum cleaner was where?
The vacuum cleaner was beside the kitchen bar
Okay.
in the den side.
Is that where you normally keep the vacuum cleaner?
No, sir.
Where do you normally keep that vacuum cleaner?
Normally, I keep the vacuum cleaner in the cherry wood room. There is another vacuum cleaner there, I think, at that time.
What is the cherry wood room?
I'm sorry. I don't know what y'all call it. The front living area.
Okay.
The very front one in there in the house.
Okay. When you come into the house,
Yes, you go to the left.
you go to the left
Yes, sir.
and you keep it in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You come in the entryway, you're talking about what is labeled the living room.
Right here.
That is where you keep your vacuum cleaner.
Usually, yes, sir.
Every day? I mean, that is where we would find the vacuum cleaner?
Well, not every day. Sometimes it would be upstairs. I have 2 vacuum cleaners.
Well, do you have closets in the house?
Not very many. There's one.
One closet in the house?
One hallway closet. As far as clothes closets, there's a couple.
And the vacuum cleaners, they don't fit in any of the closets? They have to be out all the time?
I guess you could try to fit him in there
Well, you keep a pretty neat house, don't you?
to a certain extent. Yes, sir.
I mean, you are pretty famous for having a very neat house, aren't you?
I like to keep a neat home.
But you don't put your vacuum cleaners away.
Well, it wasn't like an important thing that I made sure that I put my vacuum cleaner away.
And that night, I guess when you were lying on the couch then, the vacuum cleaner was against the bar over there?
Yes, sir. I had been vacuuming.
Okay, and you talked about this gangster rap song that was your son's favorite song?
It was both of my sons, one of their favorite songs.
And you don't believe that they could have understood the words to it?
I don't think so.
Did you know the words to it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know the verse, the main chorus verse, but I don't know all the words to it, no.
Okay. You had said that, well, let's talk about your diary for a moment.
Okay,
Now, you got the diary in 95.
I believe so.
Okay, and you made what, 4 or 5 entries in it over a few months period?
I think so. I don't know if I had read 4 or 5, something like that.
Well, most of the pages are blank, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
But finally, at the end here, on the 3rd of May is when you write this. Now, you say you weren't going to commit suicide?
No, sir. What? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry,
You're
my
fine.
dog is. Sorry. Odin,
Okay.
what's going on? You want to go outside or something? I don't know what you're doing, buddy. Can you lay down for a minute? We're almost done, buddy. Go lay down. Okay, sorry.
You were just feeling really moody?
I was feeling somewhat depressed and moody.
Okay.
I mean, I think they kind of go together.
How long had you been feeling moody?
I don't know. It had been a few days.
Okay. And what time of the day was it that you started writing this note?
I started writing the note. I think it was like, I want to say like around 3 or 3:30.
Did you have pills out by you?
By the note?
Just out.
No, sir. They were in the drawer.
They were in the drawer.
Yes, sir.
You didn't take the pills out at all.
No, sir. We took pills out later to throw them down the toilet, to flush them down the toilet.
Had you thought about taking the pills?
I think I was thinking about it a while I was writing the letter. Yes, sir.
To kill yourself?
To think about it.
Well, you were going to the trouble of writing this letter, right?
Yes, sir, I did. And I also went to the trouble of stopping because I realized that I didn't want to do that.
I mean, the first line in here is, I hope that one day you will forgive me for what I'm about to do. What were you about to do?
I was contemplating suicide.
Pretty seriously.
If it had been seriously, I wouldn't be here today.
Well, you are writing a note.
Yes, sir.
I hope that one day you will forgive me for what I'm about to do.
Yes, sir.
And you have got the pills. I mean, that's the way you were going to do it, right? Take the pills?
That's what I was thinking about.
And you were going to the trouble of writing this note.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about some pretty serious contemplation, aren't we?
Yes, sir. But you also have to consider that I stopped in the middle of that note and called my husband because I decided that I wasn't going to do that and that it was silly.
Now, why were you so desperate at that point in your life, 1 month before these murders, that you were thinking about committing suicide?
I cannot answer that question for you.
Do you have amnesia about that?
No, sir.
You don't have traumatic amnesia about why you were so desperate to think about committing suicide?
No, sir, I don't.
But you didn't purchase those pills while you were contemplating it?
No.
Okay, those had just been lying around the house.
They had been in a box in the house.
Okay, how long had they been there?
How long had they been what? In the house?
Right.
For quite some time.
Okay, do you remember the first time that you met your psychiatrist on the 20th of June? She asked you about your thinking about suicide.
Lisa?
Yes.
I guess so, sir.
You don't have any other psychiatrist, do you?
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there was different people that talked to me in the jail.
Okay, do you remember telling her that you thought about suicide, actually bought over-the-counter pills, wrote no, but knew she couldn't, and called husband?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you told her that you actually bought over-the-counter pills
I had bought over-the-counter pills.
for the purpose of taking them to commit suicide.
No, sir. I did not buy the pills that day. If that is, what you're asking, I'm not sure.
So you felt bad enough on the 3rd of May to sit down and contemplate how you would kill yourself, write a note, and then decided to call your husband.
Yes, sir.
I guess you were not very happy with your life at that point.
Well, I was feeling pretty depressed.
Have you ever thought about committing suicide at any other time in your life?
No, sir.
You said that you mentioned on your direct testimony about being molested a little by your
Stepfather,
stepfather. What's his name?
Jenny.
Okay, that happened when? How old were you?
The first time I was 8 years old.
Okay, and where is he now?
He lives, I'm not exactly sure what the name of the place is, but it's a little bit further outside of Terrell on one of those tiny drive-through towns.
Okay, when is the last time you saw him?
The last time I saw him, I believe, was on Mother's Day. He came over to pick up Danielle, my little sister.
That is Mother's Day of this last year, 96, right?
Yes, sir.
Which would have been how close to the murder?
Well, I don't know, about 3 weeks maybe.
Okay, it's in May, right?
Mother's Day is, yes, sir.
Okay, and in fact, on that day, you gave him Damon and Devin and let them go with him to his home to stay for a couple of days, didn't you?
For a day.
For one day?
Yes, sir.
This is the man that emmed you?
Yes, sir.
And you let him have your children?
Yes, sir. Can I explain that?
Just answer my question. I mean, if your lawyer here wants to explain it, he can have you do that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and how long were they gone?
A day.
Okay. Incidentally, as far as that accusation of the police were never called, were they?
No, sir. I was 8 years old.
Okay. When did your mother divorce him?
I think I was about 17 when she got the actual, maybe 18, when she got the actual divorce from Denny, it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
But on that Mother's Day, your children were with him.
Yes, sir, after Mother's Day.
Is that your usual practice, not to have your children with you on Mother's Day?
No, they were with me half of the day.
Okay, so that is not your usual practice not to be with your children on Mother's Day.
No, sir.
Well, in 95 and 94, you weren't with your children on Mother's Day, were you?
On Mother's Day
Yes.
in 94 and 95.
Yes.
Where was I?
Well, weren't you out kind of celebrating with your friends on those Mother's Days?
Oh, you're talking about the night before Mother's Day.
Well, the little party that you planned, right?
Sure.
Okay, I mean, that was kind of an annual event with you to go partying with some other women on Mother's Day, wasn't it?
All mothers. Yes, sir.
Okay, you call that Mother's Day out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now incidentally, did you attend church regularly with your boys?
No, sir.
Okay, that silly string party, I guess it's come to be known.
Yes, sir.
You were saying that was not your idea.
No, sir, it was not.
Okay, did you not go around the neighborhood telling all the kids and parents that they needed to come to this party?
I called everybody. Yes, sir, I did.
I mean, you did that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you were physically walking around the neighborhood, going around, knocking on doors and telling parents that they needed to bring their kids to the...
To a couple of their friends' house, I did.
Okay, and this is while the police still had custody of your house, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you were walking around the neighborhood, knocking on doors.
I was not walking around the neighborhood. I went to 3 homes.
Okay, and when you were you on some type of drugs or something at the silly string party?
I had not been taking as much medication as what I was. But yes, I was still on some.
Are you trying to blame your behavior, shooting silly string, laughing and giggling on any medication?
No, I am not blaming my behavior. I don't think there's anything to blame.
Okay, and the silly string wasn't your idea, is that right?
No, sir.
But you certainly didn't mind spraying it and things like that, did you?
I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
And then you saw Joe Munoz out there with a camera?
Yes, he was.
And you talked to him at quite a great length, didn't you?
Yes, he came over to the grave.
You didn't mind talking to him on the camera, did you?
Well, actually, in the beginning, I didn't want to. But then later on, yes, I did.
You warmed up to him pretty quick, didn't you?
Yes, he's a very nice man.
Well, you can kind of tell that from watching the videotape.
He was a very nice man.
In fact, it's on the videotape that you say that this killer went to your children first, then tried to come to you.
Yes, sir.
But he had to go to them first.
That's what I said.
Okay, well, were you just imagining that this is what happened and assuming what had happened?
Well, I think we have all assumed that is what happened.
Okay, so you don't remember that.
No, sir.
You were just making that statement
Yes,
because you figured that is probably what happened.
we all figured that that is what happened.
Now, how long had that window been up in the garage?
As to, can you be a little bit more specific?
Well, did you usually keep that window locked? This point of entry?
We didn't usually keep it locked all the time. Usually it was kept open and down. It was off and on. It wasn't always up, but it wasn't always down.
Why did you keep it open?
I kept it open when we had cats out there and when we would breed them.
Okay, and was it open on the day of the 5th?
I believe it was open some.
And had you been keeping it open for the entire week?
I'm not sure about that. As a matter of fact, I think I had shut it a couple of times during the week.
When had you shut it?
I couldn't tell you, sir.
But you know it was open on Wednesday, is that right?
I know it was open on Wednesday.
Yes?
I believe so.
And that was because you had cats out there, is that right?
No, sir.
Why was that?
It was just open. I just remember it being open when I had gone out into the garage.
Okay, so it's clear your husband Darren didn't commit this offense, did he?
No, he didn't.
I mean, you know that for a fact, don't you?
Yes, sir.
This jury can remove that issue from their minds whatsoever that Darren Routier did not kill your sons.
Yes, sir.
That man you saw walking away was not your husband.
Yes, sir.
You saw that man go out into the garage, is that right?
Out through the utility room into the garage.
And after that, you are wide awake down in the kitchen and then in the Roman room and in the hallway.
Well, not wide awake at first, but yes, I did become wide awake.
Well, there's no way that if that had been Darren, that he could have snuck in the house and gotten back upstairs and then come back down.
No, I don't think so.
So we can put that issue aside. The murderer of your children is not your husband.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what it comes down to is the murderer is either this man who crept into your house and murdered your children and attacked you, or you are the murderer.
Sir,
That has got to be one of the two ways, doesn't
sir,
it?
sir, I did not murder my children.
It's got to be one of the two ways.
I did not murder my children, sir.
So it was the man who crept into your house?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. Now, at that time that this happened, did you feel stalked in any way?
At that time that it
Of the murders?
happened,
Yes, on the 5th.
I didn't think about it. I mean, being stalked after it happened.
No, I'm talking about before.
Not really stalked. I mean, we had some phone calls and stuff, but I never really gave it a whole lot of thought.
And had Darren told you that your neighbor Karen had told you about this car that was watching your house?
No, sir, he didn't tell me about that.
He hadn't told you that.
No, sir.
So the only indication that you had of anyone after you maybe were these phone calls. Is that right?
At the time, I didn't think anything of it, but yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Shuck, let's take a 10-minute break now, please.
All right, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
We could skip some of the. I thought there was going to be a lot of court explanation, but there isn't.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, everybody, find your seats. Are both sides ready to bring the jury in and resume the trial?
Yes, sir. We are ready. Yes, sir.
All right, bring the jury in, please. Let the record reflect that all parties in the trial are present and the jury is seated. All right, Mr. Shuck.
Over the break, you were able to consult with your attorneys again, were you not, Mrs. Routier?
They told me something.
Okay, you were able to talk with them there over the break.
Yes, they told me that I was.
I didn't ask you what they said.
Yes, sir. I was.
I just wanted to know if you were able to talk to them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll try to keep my questions real simple, okay?
Okay.
Now, apparently, this man who crept into your house in the early morning hours of the 6th was able to murder your children, wound you, and leave one witness that could put him on death row.
I think that he thought I was dead.
Okay, he left the one witness who could cause his conviction and put him on death row alive.
Again, I think he thought I was dead.
Well, were you not moving or something?
I don't remember that much, sir.
Then how would you know he would think that you were dead?
Because he was walking away from me.
And you were just laying there.
Yes.
I mean, he had to get close enough for you to be able to identify him, wouldn't he, Mrs. Routier?
I would think so.
Okay, well, I mean, you have got your throat cut. He has to do that. He has to get right up on you, doesn't he?
Yes, sir.
Face to face.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he has to be in that room while your children are killed.
Yes, sir.
Me ask you this. Do you think that you slept while that man stabbed your boys?
I have no idea.
Well, do you think you could have slept through that?
I don't know how to answer that because I don't know.
Well, you are a light sleeper, aren't you?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a light sleeper.
Well, don't you wake up whenever the baby moves in his crib?
Yes, sir, but that is not exactly a real light noise.
So when your baby rolls over, you wake up.
His crib is on a hardwood floor and it has rollers on it. And when he wiggles and moves, it shakes the whole crib and makes it, it's a pretty loud noise.
That is why you were sleeping downstairs, right?
It's one of the reasons, yes.
I mean, that is what you put in your voluntary statement, did you not?
Yes, sir.
I mean, no one forced you to write that down, did they?
No, sir.
I mean, this is in your handwriting.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and don't you say I had been sleeping on the couch the past week or so off and on because the baby slept in our room, in the crib, and when he moved, he woke me up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are a light sleeper, aren't you?
To some degree.
And how close would you say Damon was to you when you went to sleep?
How close was Damon?
Yes, how close was he to you?
He was very close.
I mean, within 1 foot, wasn't he?
Pretty much so, yes.
Easily 1 foot lying there right beside you?
Yes, on the floor.
Do you think that you could have slept through a man stabbing him 4 times in the back?
Again, I have no idea.
Well, you know yourself pretty good. Do you think you could have slept through that?
Sir, I cannot answer that. I cannot remember.
Do you think you could have slept when this man stabbed your 7-year-old Devin?
I can't answer that question.
He was only about 4 or 5 feet away from you, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Well, you are a mother, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am.
And don't mothers, aren't they able to tell when their children are in trouble?
I would like to think so.
Aren't they known for being able to hear those noises?
From an instinct.
Have that instinct?
Yes, sir.
So don't you think that would have woken up if a man, that you would have woken up if a man started stabbing you?
I have no idea what happened that night.
Well, certainly you would have woken up when he started beating you, wouldn't you?
I have assumed that that is what happened. Yes, sir.
I mean, you would have to be awake to take a beating like that.
I would assume so. Yes, sir.
And it's your arms that were beaten, weren't they?
As far as I know, yes, sir.
Okay, I mean, you weren't hit in the face, that's for sure, were you?
Directly in the face.
Yes, we can't see any bruises on your face, can we?
No, sir.
Okay, and you weren't stabbed in your face, were you?
Not stabbed. There were marks on my face.
You weren't beaten in the chest, stomach, back, or anything like that?
I have no idea.
Well, did you ever see any bruises in your chest and your back?
Not bruises, but there was a mark on my breast.
But no bruises.
No bruises.
Okay, you didn't complain to the doctors about a big headache, being whacked in the head, or bumps on the head.
Actually, I did complain about feeling pain. I didn't complain specifically in what areas. I was hurting all over from head to toe.
Certainly you're not going to wake up, or you are going to wake up when he cut your throat, aren't you?
I have no idea. I would assume so.
You wouldn't sleep through that, would you?
I don't know what happened. I would assume so, but I cannot remember.
Do you really think that you could have slept when the man cut your throat?
I don't think so.
You couldn't have slept when you got stabbed in the arm either, could you?
I don't think so.
Okay, and if you had woken up when your children were attacked, you would have screamed, wouldn't you?
Unless my mouth was covered.
Well, I mean, that would, I guess, are there more than one man attacking you?
I have no idea, sir.
I mean, if there was just one guy, he can only do one thing at a time, can't he?
Well,
You only saw one man, didn't you?
I only saw one man, yes, sir.
Okay, walking away from you. And if there was just one man attacking your kids and you saw him, you would jump up and defend your children, wouldn't you?
I would think so. But again, I cannot remember.
You would think you would get up
Yes, sir.
and defend your children.
Yes, sir.
Don't you know you would do that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you would defend them with your life, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
If you saw a man attacking your children, you would scream your head off, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir, unless my mouth was covered.
You would scream for your husband, wouldn't you?
Unless my mouth was covered, yes, sir.
You didn't have any problem screaming for him when he finally got up and came down there, did you?
My mouth was not covered.
Did you find any tape or any gauze or anything stuffed in your mouth that showed it to be covered?
No, just except for that it was torn up inside.
Okay, it was all torn up inside.
Well, it felt raw.
Did you talk to the doctors about that?
I talked to the nurse about that. Yes, I did.
There's no way you could be prevented from defending your children and sounding the alarm if you had seen them being attacked.
What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Well, if you had woken up and some man is stabbing your children, you would have tried to stop him, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you have no memory of any of that.
No, sir.
You must have been beaten first, wouldn't you say?
Sir, I have no idea. I have sat for 7 months and tried to think of every possible thing I could think of what this man did to me.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You don't know if you were stabbed first or you were beaten on the arms first.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
And what is the description that you remember? The best description that you have for this man?
It's not much. He was a taller man with dark hair.
Okay, let's start with that. How tall was he?
I cannot give you an exact. I mean, I can just tell you that he was I would think above 6 foot.
Okay, above 6 foot?
Yes, sir.
And I believe you said that he was along Chris Frosh's build. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you talking about the height-wise?
Built wise.
Okay, and
I mean, I haven't seen Chris Frosh and, I have just seen him in dress clothes, but he seems to be around the same build.
okay, so he's the same height and build as this man that was walking away.
Well, approximately.
Okay, so the man is over 6 foot, you would say.
Yes, sir.
And he was a white male?
I don't know that for sure.
Okay, what kind of hair did he have?
He had longer hair,
How long was it?
like here.
Okay, whatever you call that, or
Whatever
okay,
you
sorry.
call that.
His collar.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Well, as far as I could tell, it was dark because it was dark in there
Okay, and the build he was built like Chris Frosch.
to some degree. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, to what degree was he not?
Sir, you're asking me to be specific about something that I cannot be specific about.
Okay, and you saw his back, and that was all
Yes, sir.
as he walked away.
Yes, sir.
You didn't yell out for Darren when you saw this man walk into your house.
Actually, it happened all so quick. I did yell out for Darren, but it was after a couple of seconds that the guy had already walked out.
While were you still on the couch?
No, sir.
Okay, while you were in the kitchen?
Yes, sir.
That is when you yelled out for Darren.
That is the first time. Yes, sir.
Who, in talking to Dr. Clayton yesterday, who is Glenn?
I really don't know Glenn that well. Glenn was somebody that came into the shop. I think that he knew one of the men that worked beside our shop.
Okay.
And he had come in and he had said some things to Barbara, that weren't very nice things. And I guess his wife was having some problems with that. And his wife called and I told her that what he did.
You told his wife.
Yes, sir.
When was this?
This was about 1.5 years ago.
Okay, and then what happened? Did he threaten you in some way?
Yes, he threatened me later over the phone.
Okay, how long ago was this?
It was about, not quite 1.5 years.
Wait, I want to see. Hold on. Well, who are we talking about again? I just kind of zoned out as I was reading. It came into the shop.
Glenn.
Who's
Whoever
Glenn?
Glenn.
Okay.
I think Glenn is like a friend. Mystery Maverick. Who's Glenn? He was sleeping with Basha, but he was like having an affair on his wife.
Okay. Okay.
Let us know, Mystery Maverick. Yeah, I think like Glenn like the big wig in the neighborhood that everyone keeps talking about that might have like connections to everything. Glenn Mize.
Okay. So, did we figure it out, or so it's basically just some guy that's, I don't know. I just thought, so he threatened her. I get it now. Okay. So where are we at? So he did threaten her. Okay. How long ago was this? Early before this happened.
About a
Okay.
year and
Thanks,
a half.
Mystery.
What happened?
Okay. You say that you gave the police his name?
I told them Glenn. I don't think I gave them the last name because I didn't know his last name at the time.
What is his last name?
Mize.
Well, let me see what they says here. Glenn is the state trooper who beat his wife. Oh, he's a state trooper? Is that real? Really? Is that what you were thinking, Bella?
I don't know.
Or is
No,
there
I
two
wasn't
Glens?
thinking. I was
maybe?
thinking he was like the not gangster like that, but like the big wig in town. But maybe that isn't him. But okay, he was.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to see if I'm not sure if that's true or not. But okay.
Well, the Shiva does know a lot about the case, so yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm thinking of Barry Fife. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mystery Maverick. Okay, so I guess Glenn Mize was a state trooper. Okay, so interesting.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you tell them that this guy that just threatened you, or did this guy look like the killer?
Yeah, I just told them. They just asked me if there was anybody that we thought. I mean, they asked me and Darren together at one time if there was anybody that we thought, had ever threatened us or anything like that.
You're not saying this Glenn guy did the killing, are you?
I don't know.
What does he look like, the guy?
Well, I have not really seen Glenn.
Well, when you had seen him, did he look like him?
Well, I haven't seen Glenn.
Well, what does he look like?
Glenn?
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know what he looks like?
Not to give you a detailed description, no.
You have never seen him before.
No. I saw him when we walked in. I saw him when we walked in to go to talk to Basha, but that was a year and a half ago, and I really wasn't paying that much attention.
Okay, so you really don't know what this Glenn guy looks like.
Not really. No, sir. I mean, we have people walk in and out of our shop.
Okay, and you can't tell us if he is a tall guy or short guy or fat guy or skinny guy.
No, sir.
So you don't know if he would look anything like this man you saw walking away.
No, sir.
Okay. So you just told the police that this Glenn guy had threatened you at some point in the past.
Yes, sir.
You think you would recognize Glenn if you saw him again?
I don't know.
Well, we will give it a try.
Okay.
Y'all just come on up here, please. All right, y'all just come on up here, please. All right, stand right here for me, please, okay? All right. Do you recognize him as being Glenn Mize?
Yeah, but the hair looks longer.
Okay, but this is Glenn Mize?
I guess so.
Okay. If y'all could just, I don't want to make it like a beauty pageant, but if you could just turn around with your backs to the jury and also to Mrs. Routier.
Okay.
So the, all right. They don't really have the same build, do they?
No, sir.
So can we eliminate Glenn Mize as being the one?
I think so.
All right. Okay. All right. Y'all can go back on back. Thank you.
So
All
what
right,
they
so-
did there was sorry to interrupt you. They took Glenn Mize and they took Chris Frosch because she had said Chris Frosch was kind of the same build. So they took Chris Frosch and Glenn Mize and put them next to each other for Darlie to look at and the jury to look at and asked Darlie, so can we eliminate Glenn Mize because he doesn't have the same build as Chris Frosch? And she agreed.
All right. So we got Darren out and we got Glenn out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember on the 18th going to the Rowlett Police Department and talking to a man by the name of Bill Parker?
Yes, sir.
A private detective, retired Dallas homicide officer?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember how long you talked to him?
About 2 hours.
Okay. You and him were in a room there at the Rowlett Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during the course of that conversation, he read you your Miranda rights, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Could we approach the bench?
Yes, you may.
Your Honor, could we have just a second, please?
Oh, by all means, yes. Members of the jury, if you'll step back into the jury room briefly, please. You want to continue here or do you want to stop here?
Oh, it is already going on 2 hours. Yeah, let's stop because 2 hours is perfect. Okay. So let me write this down. Or can you? I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't know where to
I'll
write
write it down. You write it down and I'll write it down.
Yeah, but I know I wrote it down last time anyway, I think. I don't even know.
I don't know how I can.
promise
What are
you.
you eating? I can't see.
Oh, Tootsie Pop. I've had so many. I'm going on a binge of candy, guys. I went so long without sugar. These last couple days, this house is full of candy, and I cannot control myself. It's horrible. I've eaten so much, I don't even want to think of it. I can't. I'm
Okay,
being
so
so
we
bad.
won't talk about it.
So yeah, I couldn't even resist eating a sucker while we're doing this. Okay, so Darlie left off page. I'll write it, but I can't promise I'll be able to find this piece of paper when it comes time.
I'll write it down.
So please, but are you gonna be able to find yours?
Yes, girl.
Okay, you found the page 36 one, really? Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for coming. It's been real.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It's been good, guys. Bella, you're mean. No, Roxy.
I'm me? What?
mean. It's probably just messy, just joking.
Oh, I am?
Sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What did you say?
Aw.
That
No, Roxanne's really sweet. I'm sorry, Roxanne, if I was mean. Yeah, you guys, so join us tomorrow. We're going to talk Summer Wells, and everyone have a really good night. Thank you guys for being here with us.
Well, Tennessee, you're eating a dum dum. Yeah. Thank you guys. What time? So like maybe like 8 tomorrow, Summer. You think?
Yeah.
Bella? Okay, so yeah, come by, guys. I haven't done a Summer Wells live in a long time. I feel like it's been like over 2 weeks because I've been waiting to do one with Bella, and she was out of town all week.
It's all my fault. See,
All her
Roxanne, I'm
fault.
mean.
And then Friday I'll be that guest on the different channel, which, like I said, I'll share the link tomorrow. Because before I share who I'm a guest, I just want to explain a couple things that I already explained in the last live. But it's important to me because every time I do have people that come at me with certain things, so I'll explain it tomorrow. Like I said, I did explain it earlier on the Barry live, but it might be a whole different crowd, so I'll wait to explain tomorrow who I'm going to be on and just give an explanation of some stuff. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. So Friday at 5, keep that day open too. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to watch the other channel, it should be interesting. But yeah,
it'll be fun.
Tomorrow is what, Thursday or Wednesday?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Wow, shoot. Okay, so tomorrow, you guys, yeah, we're gonna do what, 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock we'll do a summer discussion. And so yeah,
Thank you guys for being here and supporting us doing this and letting us read for y'all.
yeah, I can't wait to bite into this sucker. I've been sucking it the whole time, wanting to bite into it, but I never had enough time because it was like I would like mute it like when you had a long paragraph and like get some good sucks and I was like, God, there's never enough time to like give it a bite because it takes a minute to like, you know, chew it off. So as soon as I can't wait because it's at that stage where it's ready. All right, so
Eva, we will probably we want to try to do it once a week. So we definitely will attempt it next week as well.
We would have done it sooner, but she was out of town. So yeah, we're going to try. Hopefully we'll do it. Yeah, I would love to that would be perfect if we could just keep it up once a week. That'd be perfect. So yeah, hopefully this next week, right? Yeah. So we're 39. So yeah, I'd say 2 more times we should be done probably.
Absolutely. Look how far we got this time. What happened? How did we do this? How come last time we didn't do this?
I don't know, because I think, you know what, last time we talked more in between. I remember we took a lot of breaks and talked more, but sometimes we do that, sometimes we don't. I think I just kind of didn't because I was on my 3rd live and I was just like, just wanted to stay focused. But
I know you were really focused this time. You're like, moving on. I'm like, okay, girl.
But like we might be doing it 3 more times because maybe next time we might not. We might chat more in between. So it's nothing's for sure, but at least for sure 2 more, maybe 3. So
very true.
Rose. All right, guys. So members, go check out the winner, the giveaway video. It's on the community post. I've been saying it all day, and see who won. And yeah, everybody have a good night.
Good night, everyone.